Hello, everybody, and welcome to another edition of Chalk Talk here on the DK Pittsburgh Sports Steelers YouTube channel. Chris Halicke here, reacting to the George Pickens trade. That's right, the Steelers traded George Pickens, and of course, that comes with quite a bit of angst and vitriol and fire and anger from the fan base because they were really liking the idea of DK Metcalf and George Pickens. Well, obviously, there's a number of reasons why to either like or not like the trade, but maybe we'll look at some of the reasons why with this. In particular, on-field stuff. Now, we know of the off-the-field stuff. I don't need to go through that. Arguing with fans on the sidelines, locker room issues when it comes to refusing to answer questions and definitely getting players to question certain things. And this is about to be what I'm about to show you and the reason why. So let's get into it. This is from home game against the Patriots in the 2023 season. Steelers are, this is a run play. And George Pickens right here at the top of the screen. They are running away from him. So he is not on the play side. All right, that's good posture to try to block. Okay, hold up. You go up and you're going to act like you're going to block, and then knee. You know, the Knights who say knee in Monty Python and the Holy Grail. That's the sound effect that I imagine when I see knee. Like that right there. That ain't going to cut it, man. I don't care if the run is going this way and you are way away from the play. You got to sell that thing. And I'm not saying this from my own perspective. I'm saying this from somebody who has played football through obviously up to the high school level, who has talked with people and coaches, and this kind of stuff right here drives them insane. It does. Whether you want to admit it or not, whether you want to believe it or not, that effort right there, that drives coaches insane. It does. Doesn't matter that they're not involved in the play. They want to see that you're involved in the play. Everybody freaked out when Deontay Johnson was lackadaisical when a ball was sitting right there because he had already taken the play off. Well, that's the reason why. You never know when something is going to happen. He fumbles, this safety picks it up, and he starts going for all that open grass. And what if Pickens is kind of meandering over here? Never take a play off, man. Never take a play off. It really does. It gets the players questioning things. And even if you're not the target, and this is a passing play, even if you're not the primary target, there is a reason why you have to sell it as you are, and this is a good reason why. The Steelers are running a play action here. Pickens is going to go, and he's going to kind of run this really deep out. It's probably more of a corner. Cowboys are showing cover 2. They end up being in a Tampa 2. This linebacker is going to come back and fill that hole there. So you got the 2 deep safeties there. That linebacker is going to come back, and then that means you've got these zones under here as well. So that's your Tampa 2. Calvin Austin is going to come and run this crosser just screaming across the field. And the whole point of Pickens running this crosser, he's going to do an inside release, he's going to go, and he's going to run this corner, is to occupy the safety, is to take the safety out of the play completely so that this crosser can open up. And you can see Fields, whenever he gets to this point, he is looking in that direction. He is looking for this to possibly be open. And if Pickens just sprints and goes, this might get the safety to drop back more. Instead, after the release, he gets here, and it's just kind of jogging. Like, what are we doing here, man? And you can even see Austin is just, I'm open. Now, by that time, Fields is already decided, nope, I'm not going there, and he turns and he goes to Van Jefferson's side, which is not open. You have the underneath coverage there. You got over-the-top coverage there. Just not a smart throw whatsoever. But maybe, just maybe, if Fields sees Pickens just already flying, and it's not like Pickens doesn't have the speed. They're at a 4.4 in the 40-yard dash. It's not like he doesn't have the speed. He can get here, and then he can really fly and allow Austin to occupy this entire space. Now, it's already open, and shame on Fields for not seeing it. But it's just, again, it's this, when you are meant to be the clear for another player, and this is what he's doing here. He is trying to clear this area while running this corner so that Austin can come through and possibly be open in that window. That's what he's trying to, that's what a clear should be doing. You can't clear if you're not sprinting. You have to be running full speed, and he's not running full speed. Okay, well, what about whenever he's the target? Well, you got examples of that too, where he's just not running. This is something that fans were seeing. And listen, these all 22 that I'm showing you, they're open, they're available to the public. You can go grab them yourselves. You can actually set the ticker so you can watch every single one of George Pickens' snaps last season. Now, you can sit through those few hundred of them if you want to, but you can actually watch, and you will see more than just these plays that I'm showing, in which Pickens is just, I'm kind of jogging. Again, and this one I know for sure. This is not me guessing. This is not me wondering, maybe hypothesizing. When Steelers are running a play action rollout here, there is always, we've talked about it here on Chalk Talk, there is always a deep option, an intermediate option, and a short option. Short, intermediate, deep. There is always those three when you do a play action rollout. Fields rolls out. This is his deep option. He's got two defenders already deep with him. Great. Defenders underneath are making sure that, that they're staying underneath. Pickens is running into this window. It's open. It's open, but number 7 here, Travion Diggs, catches him from all the way back here. How? He's jogging. That's how. That is not full speed. And Fields has nowhere else to go. This is the read. The deep is meant to be a clear. And by the way, watch Calvin Austin run whenever he's the clear. Well, he's not running a corner. He's running a deep. He's actually going this way. He's going. Now, he's fast. He's naturally fast. He's faster than Pickens is. But again, this is meant to be the clear. And at this point, the quarterback is then supposed to read. If the deep route takes these guys away from the play, then you are supposed to be reading where these defenders are and then decide to make your throw either to the intermediate or to the short. The intermediate is open. And at least it would be if Pickens were actually running. And just, again, this body language at the end. It's the body language. It's, I don't care. And if you think body language doesn't tell the story, I don't know. I don't know what to tell you, man. And you can really see it from this angle here. You can really, really see it. Again, Pickens is here. Diggs is all the way back here. I mean, come on. You have the ability with 4.4 speed to cut across, where if Fields gets here, you should be open. If you are sprinting, he should be able to put that ball about right there. Yeah. Instead, because of that, because he's not actually running, he has to hold, and then throw whenever he's already covered. You are taught as a receiver. This is not a guess. This is not guessing. You are taught as a receiver to run all the way and sprint. I'm not guessing. I'll keep saying that over and over because there are going to be some people being like, oh, you're just cherry picking. This is football 101 for receivers. You are taught to sprint on this route, and he didn't do it. And again, this isn't an isolated incident. This has been an issue with him. On a pure football standpoint here, I did want to bring this up. Metcalf is a better fit for what Arthur Smith wants to do. Arthur Smith, when you look at what he did in Tennessee, he liked to hit those play action in breaking routes on play action, and that's just not Pickens' forte. Pickens, and it just goes to show with the way that he was used. It's not because it's the same coordinator using a receiver in a different way. So A.J. Brown all the time. Go back and watch the Titans film from 2019, 2020. Play action, in breakers, digs, posts, just all kinds of stuff. Pickens last year, 103 targets. 24 were in breaking routes. 30 were out breaking routes. 39 were vertical. Okay, expected the vertical to be the most. But 24 in breakers. That's not a lot. Of those 103 targets, 73 were outside the numbers. 29 down the seam, 1 in between the hashes. And it was a 3-yard catch on a drag against the Chargers. Conversely, Metcalf, 108 targets, so almost the same number of targets last year with the Seahawks. 40 of those were in breakers. 17 were outbreakers. 47 were verticals. So again, vertical threat, but a lot more in breakers. A lot more. Compared to 24 for Pickens. Of those 108 targets, 50 outside the numbers. 49 down the seam. So almost half and half. Almost the same exact number. And then 9 in between the hashes. You have a guy who can attack the middle of the field better than Pickens can. So if you're just looking at last year's receiving core versus what it is now, don't look at it as they could have had Metcalf and Pickens. Look at it as it was Pickens and then everybody else last year, and now it's Metcalf and everybody else this year. Metcalf is an upgrade, not only because of talent, but because of the way Arthur Smith wants to use wide receivers. So it's a win-win there. It is a better receiving core now than it was when the Steelers lost their wild card game against the Ravens. It just is. That's not really a debate. So I get people being upset about wanting to see what it would have been like to have both Metcalf and Pickens. You would have also been dealing with a hold-in this summer. The Steelers were not going to pay him. They didn't want to pay him, and they didn't want to deal with that hold-in. That's what it boils down to. They got what they could, which was a third rounder, and then moving up around in the 2027 draft. And now the Steelers are positioned to have at least 3 third-round picks next year, and could be as many as 5 based off of the comp pick formula. Depends on what happens with Russell Wilson and Justin Fields. But I understand the vitriol and the anger for this season, but also at the same time, the receiving core is now better, slightly better, let's be fair, slightly better, with the chance to possibly add, either via free agency or trade capital. They have the assets to do it. And now you don't have to deal with this stuff anymore. Now you don't have to deal with jogging, not getting open because you're jogging instead of sprinting. Like, you don't have to deal with that anymore. The receiver room got a lot more mature with this trade. Pickens is insanely talented. No doubt about that. But also understand this has its benefits. It does. You might not see it right now, but it does. It's painful. Not saying it's not. I understand it, but at the same time, again, you don't have to deal with that stuff anymore. So that's going to wrap up this edition of Chalk Talk. Really appreciate you joining in. Try to be happy, people. There's more to life than football, I promise. Taking as somebody who is around football and watches football and studies football pretty much all the time. There's more to life than football. Trust me. Much love, guys. Appreciate it. Catch you on the flippity flip. We'll see you later.